Hello to everyone out there, all my beautiful and lovely subscribers. This is Destiny, guys. Look, I have to get up early this morning because I want to continue getting this message out to you. And this is a very important lesson, and it's about the reconnection of our past lessons that we learn in life. A lot of times, what happens is that people they want to forget their past, especially when they had horrible experiences and they had trauma in their lives or any type of physical, emotional, mentally, whatever, spiritually, any kind of abuses they had in life, things that really caused them a lot of intense pain and hurt. They want to forget the past. But the past is something that is so important to reaching into your present moment, because you have to take the lessons from your past. And a lot of times they hurt, but we have to take them and learn from them as lessons so we can be better in our present moment, so we can grow from the mistakes, from the hurts and the pains and the abuses and whatever that we have gone through. We're going to learn from them as valuable lessons. So, hey, if those things pop up in our present, then we know how to deal with it. We won't let it overtake us and destroy our mind and keep us in fear and keep us worrying and keep us in hurt. So we have to make that reconnection. We have to heal others as well as we have to heal ourselves. So welcome everyone out there. This is your girl Destiny. Hello, my beautiful subscribers and friends. And if this is the first time that some of you have ever come to my channel, I see new people out there. Hi, welcome to Destiny Forever. That's my YouTube channel. And I am here to give you the red carpet treatment. You come in and sit with me and you can watch my videos. I want to get started with this message today. And the topic is your truths or your experiences learned from your past lessons. So let's go deep into this. I've got some tips I want to give you, so I want to help you so you can consider the lessons that you can learn from your past mistakes and your past history and things that you've done in your past life. Those things that was horribly just overtook your mind and your body and practically shut you out of life, shut you away from living to be your better and higher and true self. So my people, listen, there is this popular adage in our society, and it goes something like this, and I'm sure you guys heard it. It tells us, forget the past. Don't worry about the future. Live in the present. You know how many guys out there heard that? Yes, many times, right? But there is a truth to this statement. If you really meditate on it, really think on it, there is truth to this statement. And far too many of us, we live defined by the choices that we made in the past. And we measure our lives as where we are today by the past lessons that we have gone through, or things that we allowed to just control us to a place it just raveled us into pieces. But many of us, we do live defined by the choices that we made in the past. And this shouldn't be the case, people. After all, each new day, it presents opportunities. New opportunities, new perspectives to become a new person on a new road destined for a new future. But those who choose to simply forget the past, you know what's going to happen? You're going to miss out on its fullest potential. So you have to remember the lessons from your past, but you don't get caught up in the past and live stagnantly in the past and rehearsing things so you can get a pity party going, so you can get somebody to feel sorry for you. No, you take those lessons. Oh, it hurts, but I'm not going to repeat the pain and the hurt. I keep speaking over the negative things, the negative hurts, and all those things. So don't get caught living stagnant in your past. There are valuable lessons, my people, to be learned from your past. And these are lessons that's going to make you totally, absolutely a better person, a better mother, a better wife, a better sister, a better husband, a better brother, a better child. These things are going to really help your life to become better. It's going to help you to walk into who you are in your true self, because your truths are your experiences. Remember that. And listen, people, and those who choose to ask the right questions about their past, then those are the ones that are most prepared to live life to the fullest in the present. So my people, I keep telling you, get out of just becoming stagnant and want to live over and over again in things that you don't want to change and make better so you can move on to something greater. Now, consider the lessons that we learn from our past. And we all got a whole lot of lessons. Sometimes, like I said, some things we need to take the lessons from it, learn now to let it go. But you don't throw the lessons out. You take the lessons and you put them in front of you and you measure it. Okay, I didn't make it this time. I tripped over this point. I fell on my face here, but I'm not going to sit down there and wallow in my pity party. And you know, I'm taking those lessons now. And I'm strengthening, I'm building my foundation, I'm stronger, and I'm clearing my path so I can just easily sail right straight through it and make these lessons become now something valuable that I can use in my future, in my present moment, people. So consider the lessons that we can learn from our past. Now, by simply people asking the right questions, guess what? We can discover so much more about ourselves and who we truly are. So let me give you some tips, and I want you to walk with me through these tips so we can take these tips of how to use these lessons that we have learned from our past to make our truth or our future a whole lot more stronger and better. So let's put these tips into action. The first tip, strengths that defined us. The talents, my people, and the abilities we use to navigate and provide value to this world, it defines the lives that we live and change that we can also offer to the world. So, by recalling our strengths in the past, then guess what? We can recognize our opportunities in the future. Another tip, weaknesses that frustrate us. We all have weaknesses, people. We have weakness in our personality and in our competence. And when we leave these weaknesses and things unaddressed, then these weaknesses limit our potential for impact and significance. So what we do is we discover them and we have to recognize them. We got to reconnect with them and learn to overcome them by seeking the help of others. Like I said, we want to be healed. We want to heal others. But to heal ourselves, we got to help also to heal others. So we got to do that, people. We have to learn to do that. Don't let our weaknesses frustrate us. The next tip, causes that energize us. People, our lives find the greatest joy when we help others. See how you got to reach out and touch someone. Make that true connection. Reconnect back to people and things that you have pulled away from that may be holding the piece to your puzzle that you need to complete that so you can move on to the present moment, people. So you have to do that. You have to find the greatest joy when we help others discover theirs. Which social causes has energized you in the past? Just things that you might want to ask yourself. What role were you able to fulfill in helping others? And how can similar pursuits bring new energy into your life today? Sometimes we got to ask ourselves questions. That's like reevaluating our lives. That's very important. The next tip, people. Relationships that inspire us, relationships that inspire us. Now, over the course of our lives, there are no doubt that a number of people have inspired us to become better versions of who we are, become better versions of ourselves. So, what traits do they have in common? What traits do they have in common with you? What traits? And you can surround yourself with more people like them today. And always be making sure you have that true connection with those people who have same like common interests, same like traits as you have. Relationships, find those wholesome and healthy relationships that will inspire you. The next tip is environments that derailed us. And this is the company that we keep people. This is the people that we're around in their cultures. And this company that we keep in the cultures we function in, it can either bring us inspiration, my people, or it can derail our progress, stop us from growing and moving to the next level of our destiny. So, you just, like I say, you constantly got to continue to ask questions like, are there relationships in your past that continually brought you down and resulted in destructive decisions? So that's a question that's good to ask yourself. So you say, okay, if so, then you have to learn from your past to avoid them. You don't want to keep competing, keep repeating and keep repeating the same mistakes and things that's not moving you out of stagnation into the place of flow, free energy, being at peace and learning so you can move on to your greater higher self. Now, people, the next tip is habits that invigorate us. Now, over the course of our lives, you know what? We employ a variety of disciplines, right? We employ this variety of disciplines to make the most of it. So we discover like a new diet, a new fitness practice, or a new morning routine. We just go and learn all kinds of different things, you know? So we experiment with them. And you know what? Some work them and then some don't. They start and then they stop. Some go on and continue as a daily routine, and they continue to do this and they work through it, while others just quit and they just stop. But eventually, these new disciplines, they either become habits or they can fade from our memory. So what you do, you look back because you're taking the lessons from the past and you bring them into your future so you can work to become better. So you can invigorate yourself. So you got to recognize the habits that brought you energy, that brought you peace, that brought you wholesome health and invigoration into your life, that brought you love, feeling your best self. You got to remember all of those and recognize those things. And in doing so, my people, you have to embrace them all over again and pull them back into your life, those wholesome, healthy things back into your life. The next tip, my people, it's affections that bring joy to us. So there are various matters of our mind and our affections of our heart that bring different amounts of joy, different meanings, as well as fulfillment into our lives. So we want to reach out and just take the affections that we have, my people, and we just want to bring that so we can release the joy back into our lives. So what affections during life brought you the most joy? And have you gotten away from them? Have you just allowed them to just stayed into your past instead of pulling them up and bring those joys so you can live all in them again? So if you have, my people, then you have to return. If so, you have to return back to those things that have those valuable, important lessons so you can bring them out of the past into your present. And in doing so, you have to recognize what distracted you from them in the first place. You gotta be consciously aware. You gotta be constantly seeking to find out a better way of life and doing things and taking those past mistakes and turning them into opportunities as well as experiences. The next tip is pursuits that distract us. Now, ultimately, the decision we make with the resources that we have been given, it determines the life that we end up living most of the time, right? So, most of the resources we have at our personal disposal, they are finite as well as they are limited, like our money, like our time, and our energy. But by definition, the allocation of them, my people, towards one pursuit, it limits the amount of resources that we have available toward others. And guess what? It is wise to recognize these subtle pursuits that routinely distract you from the truest desires of your heart. The next tip, addictions that control us, and we all have some type of addiction that we allow to control us our entire life. It's time to let go of those things. We are a people that is too often, we are people that too often that we give control of our most precious access to others. And then we fall under the influence of substance or possessions or even entertainment. And when we do, people, our life is no longer our own. We are giving ourselves and our lives over to other people to maneuver, manipulate, and control us, to dominate our lives and our thoughts, and take us away from the path that we need to be. Take us out of our truths. So we have to identify that we are carrying controlling substance. You hear what I said? We have to identify the real carrying, controlling substance and the addictions in your life. And we have to humbly seek the help that is needed to remove their influences over you so you can move on from that thing that kept you locked in that past that hurt, and using those lessons to become better and experiences so you can live in your present. My people, listen. The next tip is learning styles that suit us. And we all learn differently. We have different ways of comprehending things. Some people are visual learners, some are verbal learners, and some learn best in group settings, while others just learn best just being alone. But your learning style is as unique to you as your fingerprints. So, the important thing, my people, is to recognize and understand what style of learning best suits you. And this life ought to be filled with constant learning. And the Bible tells us we gotta be always learning, growing into the truth, people. So this life ought to be filled with constant learning. And guess what? And the sooner we recognize how we learn best, that's the sooner we'll begin to grow in it. We begin to grow into our best self, our best and higher self, and become the best version of whom the Creator created for us to be. The next tip, and I think is the last one, my people, which is a very powerful one, a very needful one. That's motivations that compel us. Motivation that forces us, that pushes us out of that negativity. So deep in our heart, our motivation, it runs so supreme. And it determines the decisions that we make, the use of our time, and the words that we choose to use. You gotta be careful. Put a guard over your lips. Watch your words. And I did that video last night, people. You can go back and pick that video up. But we have to choose carefully what we say, how we say it, and what we're speaking loud come out of our mouth, out of our mouths. I'm sorry. So understand how deep is motivations. It is a difficult task at times, yes. But guess what, my people? It only requires stillness, quiet in the mind, making that reconnection back to yourself, back to the divine higher power and source, connecting to the universe. It requires that patience, that peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, that peace within us. And it requires constant self-evaluation. I told you that is something so important. Every so often, my people, need to be sitting down with yourself, having a conversation, going back and rediscovering things in your life, things from your inner child, learning that inner child walk from the day one all the way up to you now. You gotta be making those self-evaluations so you can know who you are, so you can understand and know your truth. But the more we discover why we do the things, my people, that we do, then the easier, my people, I guarantee you, it is for us to make the most of the present moment, the now moment, and to make that reconnection that we are living here in today. And that is so true. The more we discover why we do things that we do, I'm telling you, then it is the easier for us to make the most of the present we are living in today. And to conclude, I hope you got these important tips. If you did not get them all, you got the right to go back and hit the play button over and over again until you master these, my people. This will help you and your truths, believe me, are your experiences. Learn from your past lessons. So if we start asking the right questions, then there are countless life-giving lessons that we can learn from our past. Just don't take your past and throw it out like you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You don't want to do that. Don't throw it out. Don't throw it out. Take it, look at it, measure it, and say, whoa, I can change that. I can change that hurt. I can change this manipulation that someone had over me. I can change this control that I've given over to somebody. I can change that hurt that I went through. And I can take those past hurts and all those past things that I've gone through that had kept me in a prison, in the minds of the world system. I can use these now as valuable lessons to live in my present moment, people. Never feel that you have to be defined by any of those things. But it would be equally foolish to forget it. Don't forget them. It will be equally foolish to forget completely when it offers so much potential for the present, for your present life now, for those present moments that we're living in. And remember this, your truths are really your experiences that come from your past lessons. And always tell you that your experiences are your truth. I'm out of here, and guys, I see you at the next video. Don't forget to reach out and touch someone's hand today and make it a better world for them and yourself. That reconnection, that is your truth that will connect you, because those are the experiences that's going to help you remember to bring you out of your past and to live in your best and higher self and your best version of who the Creator created for you to be. Make the reconnection now. Destiny is signing off. I'll see you guys in the next video. Namaste. Heal others so you can heal yourself. Namaste, people. See you at the next video.